Hi guys, I'm Anjali Dua studying Masters of Management Marketing from University of Melbourne. And like it or not, I'm the host for today's show. Today we have Hamza and Fazal with us. So this show, and especially thanking Saleha, who is the founder of Chai Chat and Community, this show is particularly about and for international students, and this is why we have international students on board. The topic for today is so encoded and dear to international students that I know you'll be all part of it. We would really love your comments or any questions if you have on during any tenure of the meeting. But as we go, I just wanted to know if you guys are stressed, worried about finding a job, and also trying to maintain calmness that comes with time. I know everyone must have gone through the stage, or like me, have been going through the stage. With being almost done with my graduation, like Fazil, the important question that comes on way is what next? How are we approaching the entire career employability world? And being an international student, does it come with a lot of disadvantage of not as compared to other citizens, or do we still have an advantage edge? And this Zoom meeting, we will be talking everything about it. So before I could just talk more and not shut about it, let us start with Hamza and Fazil introducing themselves to us.
Cool. I'll go first. Yep, my name is Hamza Choudhry. I came to Australia in 2017 as an international student to pursue my master's in IT, and I graduated in 2019. And currently, I'm working as a lead developer slash head of web in a digital marketing agency. Yeah, and for the fun fact, I am a super soccer fan. So like, if there's a match at 1 a.m., I'll watch it. So yeah, that's pretty much about me. Yeah.
Thanks, Hamza. What about you, Fazil?
Hello, Anjali. Hello, Hamza. And hello to all the viewers who are watching us. My name is Fazal Sayed, and I'm currently a University of Melbourne student studying Masters of Electrical Engineering. Also, I'm working as an assistant manager over Melbourne in just like my casual job, not a full-time one, while working through this car rental company and getting some experience of the Melbourne throughout my tenure. I love to go around, like explore things, maybe new cities, interstates. Exactly. Yeah, we know through the COVID we haven't gone out much, but still we can use as much as opportunities as we have to meet you guys, like through this chai chat community as well. Thank you.
Definitely. I'm super excited knowing so much about you. So, guys, starting from the first question itself. So, what has been the biggest accomplishment and even the hardest challenge you encountered while studying in Melbourne, since both of you have studied in Melbourne itself and also coming from India?
Right. So for me, the biggest accomplishment is, of course, when you graduate, when you finish your masters. That's like finally done. What we came here to do, like that's done. So that's one of the biggest accomplishments for me. And at the same time, being lucky enough to get a job in my field, that's one of the accomplishments for me as well. And the toughest challenge or the hardest challenge for me personally was, so I was a part-time web developer while I was doing my master's. So managing work and your masters was super tough initially, but then you get used to it. Then you find the right balance. So for me personally, that was one of my toughest challenge in Melbourne.
Right. Thanks,
Yeah.
Hamza. What about you, Fazil?
Thank you. My biggest accomplishment here as a student, if I can say, is like getting up the result every semester and it's a pass, like completing semesters and step by step moving ahead, as I can see. And when we see an opportunity coming for the graduate programs, as we both are on the same page, Anjali and me, whenever we see one stage clear, like our resume has been got approved and went to the second stage of our like online assessment or the digital interview, it's like some kind of achievement to us, because as a student we are like having some small accomplishments which are like big to us for the moment. obviously because we are like hunting for the job opportunities and craving for it for the moment. Yeah, thank you.
Right.
Yeah, definitely, Fazil. So definitely, I carry on
Hey,
the same. Hi, Zaidi. So I also do believe on how we have small accomplishments that might look very miracle, very minute for someone else, but being international and being totally independent on a different land, it's definitely humongous for us. So,
Exactly.
what dreams you had just going before the line you had come here, so what dreams you had before entering in Australia, and do you think if you have been able to achieve your goal with time, or has it changed, whether in terms of employability or whether in terms of education or any prospect?
yes, that's a really good question actually. Um, for me, before I came to Australia, before I moved to Melbourne in 2017, so I'm coming from a super technical background. Like I was super interested in programming. I was an app developer before. Like I was learning how to do apps since I was in my 12th standard. Um, I was super technical. Like I was into programming, and I wanted to become a programmer. I wanted to become a coder. My dream was to work for Google and big companies like that. But when I came to Australia, like, and I still wanted to do, but slow and steadily, my goals changed, like my dreams changed, just because of where I was in life. Like I joined, I was a web developer in a previous agency where I was working, and just being in that agency life, getting introduced to new people, just changed my mentality a bit. So now, instead of me becoming want to become a successful programmer or work for Google or another company, I want to run my own show. Like I want to have my own digital agency one day. So that's the transition of from me being a programmer to become a programmer, and now I want to have my own digital agency. So yeah, that's my goals changed completely, and it happens like just it depends on where you are in life and what you learn. Your dreams and your goals change, which is normal, which is fine.
Right.
Yeah.
And do you think it was the influence of your social circle that drove you from one part to another?
Yes, it was due to my social circles, because back in India I was having friends who are again like programmers and who are in IT, because I was doing my bachelor's in IT back then, bachelor's in computer application. When I came here, now my circle was a bit different, because I was working in a digital agency. I had friends from there, and they are always, whenever we sit together, we are discussing about some ads or marketing, what's going on in the new trends in web, and pretty much the agency life. And I really liked it, and slow and steadily I started loving it, and I actually started my own digital agency as well. But right now it's not full time because I'm still working, and potentially I want to make that big one day. I want to become full time for my own thing. So it very much depends on your circle. Yeah.
Definitely. What about you, Fazil?
Exactly, my like I can see myself after 2 years standing on the same foot as Mr. Hamza as standing here. Also, my dream before coming to Australia was like in a multicultural university. I will be studying through and getting up those skills, especially which we have been not taught in our domestic universities as well. That too, these dreams have been fulfilled to a certain extent, though the situations were not that good throughout the time, but still we tried and managed really hard. And all of these uncertain situations have made sure that we became more independent throughout the time and get to know all the new opportunities and what can we do in the meantime. So the dreams have changed. Obviously, my main aim to was like getting some job and thoroughly going through the electrical industry as I am doing the engineering in. But right now, if I can see more opportunities coming up with also different industries, and yeah, putting my hand up in some kind of business activities as well. Because here, Australia is like a great place to do work and run up a business. That's a good opportunity as well. Yeah.
Definitely, Fazil. Uh,
Hey, Safdar.
Yeah, sir. Walaikum assalam.
so, Fazil, since you are definitely representing hundreds of students who'll be graduating this mid-July, and trust me on that, you're representing me. So, going on a very light mode, what do you think is the journey ever since you start looking for a job? Did you find it successful, or are you being complacent on it, or are you still struggling to find the way?
Main thing which I can say regarding our international student is like we are what I can say. All of us are in like a kind of a pressure cooker. We all are something like under pressure, which we cannot say, but we still are in. Like we don't know what our future will be. Like everything is dynamic, everything is changing daily wise. Like so we are in certain pressure that whichever jobs we apply through, it's not we are not getting successful in that. It's like multiple applications have been done already and more to be done, but still we are seeing a very narrow pathway to get success throughout. Obviously, but there are some inspiring stories which has been presented by our previous like the
Alumni.
previous also the alumni and our colleagues who had gone through this process, like Hamza Choudhry as well. So these things have like kept us going through this thing throughout the situation, and we will manage through it. As I say that through this media, we all will be going to get graduate, you and me. So things have been like in more pressure, I can say, to go and get this thing done and get a job and to come up with something that we are like able to we can show the result of whatever we have achieved and whatever skills we have. It's like we have learned a lot. Now the time has come to show the world that whatever we have learned, what the skills we are up to now. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. So, Fazal, since we belong to the same university, University of Melbourne, and that's ranked number one in Australia, do you really think the degree that we behold, and when it comes to being very approachable to employers, do we get the same result as what our degree represent us? Or are we still streamlined as people who might not be in the same universities, and at the end it's only the skill set but not the university you come from?
There is 2 points which I can say and make some more light on, like put some more light on that. First point is like this university, as you said, is a ranked university. So this university have some protocols which they have to follow and make it not that easy for the students to go through their curriculum. Why? The reason is because they want the students to get through this pressure outside the world when they will go, and through the skills which they are learning through the university, they accomplish and they achieve their accomplishments over the industry. So the University of Melbourne students specifically, I can say, will have some talents to go through this pressure kind of thing which I'm speaking repeatedly. Why? Because we understand that the situations which the university create for us during the exam times, we worked a lot, still we don't go get through the marks which we think we can achieve. So first point is that one, the university of skills like taught us more skills to go through. Second point is like although the university rankings and positioning doesn't matter in the job industry, that is true fact and it's universal, but your skills really matters, and the university which you choose will create that skills in you where you're working through. That's it.
Right,
Yeah.
Fazal. So what you say is it's not direct contributive factor to getting job, but definitely indirectly it's helping you encompass that. And what are your views on that, Hamza?
I actually completely agree with what Fazil said. Similar views, like yes, universities teach you a lot, and it does matter a little when you are applying for a job after you finish your university. They see, or you have studied from Melbourne Uni. Melbourne Uni is a big name, right? So that contributes over there. But when it comes to an actual job, um, that matters, but that's not the priority. What matters to an employer is your skills, is what you are bringing to the table, rather than just a university degree. But as Fazil said, it definitely helps to bring those skills out. University helps in that, and if it's a Melbourne Uni, then definitely it sparkles your resume a bit. So that's where it helps. But when it comes to getting a job, skills are number one priority.
True.
Definitely,
Yeah.
Hamza. So, Hamza, since you are already in the job market and you are very much one of the exploited leader developer at digital marketing firm, so how was your journey? And with journey, I also would want to ask about, if that's all right, how did you get the role? Was it through your networks, or was it the direct apply to the digital marketing firm you are at?
Sure. I'd love to actually answer this. So when I came to Australia back in 2017, that's like a normal psychology of a student when he or she comes to a new country, right? Like, you want to stand on your own feet. You don't want to be dependent on your parents because they've already done so much for you. Now you want to stand on your feet and you want to be surviving on yourself. So first thing, of course, like anyone else, I was starting like just applying for jobs, and in my field, that is IT. I was a web developer. Like, I did freelancing for like almost 5 years after my 12th. And I also worked in India for like a couple of years. Sorry, 6 months, not years. And then I moved to Australia for my master's. So first thing I did, just applying, for companies and everything, and literally like 10 applications a day. Like that was my goal. Like, minimum, you have to send 10 applications a day. And then one day, just I started my uni, and it was like 2 weeks on, and I was still looking for a job. And I just saw this ad on Seek or LinkedIn, if I'm not wrong. By the way, these two are the really good platforms for finding jobs in Australia. So one of the platforms, I saw this job, like they were looking for a web dev in an agency here in Australia, in Melbourne, and there was a number there as well. So this is a really good tip for anyone applying for jobs right now. So instead of me just emailing my resume to that particular company, I actually just picked up my phone. One of the reasons why I did that is because I was frustrated as well. Like, damn, I just want to get a job now. So I just picked up my phone, I dialed the number, and I called him. And the guy picked up. Wally Chang, his name was my previous CEO of the company. And I told him, look, I'm an international student and I'm looking for a job. And I saw this ad on Seek, and I think I fit this role, but I would like to know if your company works or hires international students, right? Just did that, and he really loved the way what I did. That is, pick up the phone and just call. And he said, look, Hamza, the job is already fulfilled, but I really liked the way you approached me. Hence, I'm happy to offer you an internship. So I completely, without even a doubt, I just said yes. I'm happy for it. I just went there. I did like 1 month of unpaid internship, and he really liked the way I was doing, and I was learning that the hunger that I had to prove myself. He just offered me the job, and I worked in the same company for almost 3 years and 9 months, which is until the start of this year, and then I switched to another company now. I got a bit better opportunity. So internship is the way in. That's what I believe in. And just being hungry enough to prove yourself and to keep learning and keep growing. So yeah, that's my journey. And then I got into this new opportunity, which I'll discuss probably in
In the next
future. I
year.
don't want to be taking up too much time. So yeah, that's my journey so far. And right now I'm a lead developer / head of web in this digital agency that I'm working at right now.
Definitely, Hamza. So when you say, just going back to what you said, so when you said applying 10 applications every day, so just focusing on the determination. So did you never feel demotivated, or did you never felt to just let go about it and lose hope? Or how did you motivate yourself when you were sending so many applications and getting no benefits or even any result out of it?
That's the thing. It all comes down to how bad you want it, right? I really wanted to be in my industry and work in my industry, because I believed I had some skills, and this is what I've noticed as well. Like, I had friends. So look, doing odd jobs or doing any other jobs is completely fine. Even I did initially for a couple of weeks because when I was doing my internship. But being stuck to that thing is one thing, and then pulling yourself out of it and trying to find a job in your industry is another thing, which I recommend everyone doing it. So I didn't want it to be just stuck at that. So I was like forcing myself, you know what, even I'm tired doing a part-time job, or from coming from uni and stuff. I want to search and I want to get into my own industry. I'm happy to do unpaid internship. If I have to sleep less, I'll do that. But I really wanted to get, so that hunger took me far. That's what I can say.
That's a good point we can take forward with Hamza. So that means it's the hunger that drives you away, like
That's right.
just putting all the rocks away. It's the internal motivation rather than extrinsic that keeps you landing to your dream. So
100%.
definitely. Thanks, Hamza, about that. So, Fazil, what's your view on it? When you are filling so many applications and getting no benefits out of it, and I assume so. So, how do you keep yourself going for the same routine and same protocols? With back of the mind, you might realize that it's today would still not be the day you'll be getting good news about it.
One thing has been taught to us like forever in India, that never quit. So mostly I just remember that thing, that we should never quit on applying these things. Success, not success, is like a part of the life. It will happen. Obviously, if the thing is meant for you, it will come to you. But it has some time for it. And similarly, things are easy to say sometimes, but when it really comes, it's like too hard to maintain ourselves. And we see those emails where it says, thank you for applying, and your application is not successful at the moment. So we get demotivated, obviously, because we have wrote a cover letter precisely looking at the skills requirement which they have, and changed our resume accordingly, and made spent like half an hour for the thing, and then we just got then rejection. So it gets some demotivation, but that's for sure. But speaking to people, like networking is a good way actually, where you will come to know about the stories, similar people like Hamza, how other there are others international students as well who has gone through this thing, and just let to know about their stories will give the pace and motivation to go ahead. That this is a thing which is like coming through me, and I'm using that a lot. So the thing like be better than your previous day is like the main motive of my life, and which Australia is giving a good opportunity to learn everything a new day.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Hamza and Fazal, have you ever? That's
Hello,
amazing.
Ali.
We are
What's up,
doing
man?
good. What about you? So, have you ever approached employer that might have rejected your application on asking feedback, or maybe asking what was the reason why you were not selected, and did you receive feedback from them?
Is that question to me?
Yeah, Hamza, starting from you, maybe.
Yes. Um, yes. So before I got my previous job, I actually so that was my second interview. My first interview was in a law firm who were looking for in-house web developer, and that was my first time actually going in a law firm in Australia or even outside India, I can say. And they are like super serious, super very very their personalities are very strong. So I just glanced. That was my first interview in Australia. I was nervous and everything. I went there and gave my interview. I was confident. I was like, yeah, I can do this, do that. And then he said, look me in the eye. These are his words, right? He said, look me in the eye. Would you last in this company for 6 months? And that got me. Like I was super confident in what I do, but like just doing that, like being so overwhelming was like, hmm. Now even I don't want to be like don't want to work around this person, but that's fine. Like but he didn't reject me on my face. He did say, look, we'll review the document and everything, and we are having more applicants coming in, and then he just emailed me a couple of days after that, like we found the right fit for our business. You had a great skills and everything, but we found someone experienced. Because at that time when I came in, when I was searching for jobs, I was not experienced at all. Like I was having no local experience, and local experience matters so much in Australian job. So getting that first break is so important. Once you have that first break, finding another job is super easy. It's just that first time struggle that you have to do. That's my take on it.
That's very important words that you just gave, Hamza. So it's just the first thing, the first job that you land up would, it's where the struggle happens. After that, after the groundbreaking journey, the journey would have been a little more, I would say, comfortable. So what about you, Fazil?
Similar kind of things have happened very rare to me, because it's like after hundreds of applications, it's like one or two where I've reached to the last stage. And in one in company where I went to the last stage, they rejected the application obviously, but they gave a good feedback that the communication skills are good. You can hone them in the future as well. Also, you can try to maintain and upgrade those skills specifically you are targeting to apply for. So rather than this is was a good feedback from their side. It's like rather than looking for all of the industry, try to catch one industry which you think you are best fitted for, and get those skills and maintain yourself so that when you speak in the last stage of the interviewee will come to know that yes, you are getting some, like you have that skills as well which you pursue. Exactly.
Right, Fazil. That's also a great point. And now we have Mushtaba Basi from our viewer list who would want the advice on writing good cover letter. Definitely, we can cover that point. So, guys, I do believe that sometimes, and not sometimes, I would say always. So when there's someone coming from a different land, coming to Australia with so much of exposure we would want to seek, and with the diversification we have in everything, whether it's culture, food, entertainment or everything, we sometimes get lost in this humdrum. So the first day till the last day, we would never realize how this 2 years of journey has come to an end. And before just maybe graduating and you start looking at the job, then you would just go back to the time and realize that it was just a flick of a minute and from where you started the journey and now you're ending it. So if there's this one thing that you would want to you could have changed while you were in uni, and that might help you where you are sitting now, what would you suggest people, or what would you suggest early bloomers who have just joined the university, and we would want them not to be overwhelmed or inundated with what the world is to offer, and just be directionful. Uh,
Um,
you can
yeah,
start forward.
yeah, sure. So for me, if I put that question for myself, I don't think I would change anything in my uni, but which will impact where I'm sitting right now. Of course, for others, I can say yes, focus on your studies and just try to gain more skills while you're studying. So just don't stick to the university syllabus. Of course, try to gain your own skills, like learn in your own industry. But for me personally, one thing if I would have changed when I was in uni was enjoy more. Like my focus was work, office, uni, home. I was doing that for literally 3 semesters, and in my fourth semester, I realized I'm missing on so much. Like I had my soccer club, and I'm super into soccer. My university had a soccer club. I'm from Swinburne University, by the way. So I had so many different activities which I could have participated. So I took it too seriously, which at times was super overwhelming. Like exams are coming up. At the same time, I have to finish a project at work. Client is waiting on. So that was a bit overwhelming. So I thought now that I've finished my uni, I think I could have enjoyed uni life a bit more, made more friends, went out on this activities, soccer activities and swimming and etc. The only thing I would change is that, like, just enjoy life as it happens, and not just stress too much about work and studies. You will actually do good if you are super calm and if you are giving yourself time.
Yeah, being placid and complacent, definitely, Hamza. Fazil, what are your thoughts on it?
Like I'm still in the university, and whatever Hamza has said, I'll grasp that thing and work in my next left out days in the university for
You
sure.
talked of days that you left it. Yeah.
Exactly. I just got reminded that yeah, I should not left that skill. I should pursue it. Okay, and one thing I will say is like all the international students, they think there are the uni is perfect, that everything is fine, or they're working as if it is going. It is just because they are not getting indulged in the activities more. Most precisely, the students get away from the activities throughout the year is due to the language barrier. Because every like 70% of those students who are studying in Melbourne, or specifically the Melbourne universities, they are like the international students ones, and they don't have English as their first language.
Right.
But it doesn't it is the best point if you go and speak with other person and you do some mistake with with your language, with the English language, it's fine. Other one is also doing the same mistake, and everyone is scared over here. This is the thing which I have noticed when I was speaking with the university, my classmates and everyone who I'm studying with, and it was like the phenomenal thing which is happening at the moment. Like I just keep going and speak with anyone who comes across the university. Like obviously, like related to the content we are sitting in the classroom, and this is giving me opportunities to find out more thing where I am correct, where I am wrong, and what thing I have to upgrade in myself as well related to the subject or any activities. Yeah, that's it. I will suggest to all my friends that please come out and speak with your classmates or anyone, any of your friend acquaintance. Please speak with them. It will give you some more knowledge and insights about the universities as well.
Definitely never shy away from any opportunity of meeting, talking, and any way of communicating with new. Because I feel it's not only the fear of meeting someone new, but also fear of someone meeting beyond your culture and might judge you with something you are not perfect at. So, Hamza, coming back to the Mujtaba's question, and also we'll be coming to you, Fazal, again. What do you think? Like, what are the pro tips you would want to give us
For
on
the cover
cover?
letter.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. First thing first, look, even let's say you are applying for, because I've done that, like I've applied for 10 companies who are looking for web developer or, software developers and stuff. Even if it's the same industry or the same job, but companies are different. And at times, companies' requirements are different. Even if it's minor, they are different. Making sure that cover letter is super personalized to that particular company is the key. Like that's the number one thing that I would do. Like I would address the companies in the cover letter. If I have the names of the CEO, the founder, or the hiring, whoever is the head of, let's say, in that particular company, I'll address them. So making it personal, I think, is the number one tip for the cover letters. Like just don't make it general. Like spend some time. Like as Fazal said, he spent like half an hour on applying those jobs. Spend half an hour. Like don't just copy and paste. That's not how you land the jobs. Like you have to spend some time and make a quality cover letter. Like you literally have to sell yourself on paper. So think of that. And whenever you are selling to these companies, you have to make sure that it's good. It's a good pitch. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
True, I agree on this thing. Really, I've met with so many of the people who are working in the industry, and they said me the same words what Hamza is saying. That precisely look through the skills of the opportunities which are coming up, and then apply it on the cover letter as well, and address it more personally. That's a
So,
good way.
on average, how much time would you give for one application before applying through it?
When I was doing it, I was actually giving like easily 35-40 minutes per application. I would go deep, and that's the job I got. So I was working. This is my second company I'm working in Australia. So my previous company, that was my second interview, and I landed the job. So previously, that was my first interview was with the law firm. Um, just because of me going so deep into those cover letters and my resume, making it sure that it matches with what company is looking for.
Oh, yeah.
Um, did a really good job. Like it saved so much of my time to just if I could have easily just copied and pasted in all the companies, but they've all been gone in spam. So that saved a lot of my time. Although it felt like 40 minutes is so much for one company that I was applying for, but it yielded results. Like it gave me results. So
True.
I think that would have answered your question, Mojo. Just do not be afraid asking him one more. So I hope you bicker Hamza till the time you are not satisfied on our job seeking journey. And what do you guys think on maintaining networks? Like how back in India there was such not no such fad or no such process of making networking and landing to job through your network culture. So how do you see networking? So people like me would consider networking as a very icky, like it's because you are approaching someone for your personal gains. So how would you consider yourself when you go to networking nights? And do you really think it's an asset that every student should imbibe and come out of their comfort zone?
110%. Like there's a saying, your net worth is your network. I really believe in that. I was literally like, just like what you said, like, some people don't like to go and participate. I was super shy when I first came to Australia, but in my previous company when I was working, my boss, who was the CEO at the time, he literally pushed me, like he made a KPI. So it was part of my KPI in the company that you have to at least attend, 2 networking events in your industry. That really helped me. At first, I used to just go and like sit, just don't talk to anyone. But slowly and steadily, I just changed myself. You know what? Let's open up. Let's talk. Like, let's talk to people. Like, that opens up so many doors to opportunity. You never know. Like, it can land you a better opportunity, better job, and you learn so much from them. Me personally, the second job that I got, that I'm currently working at, I started the start of this year. I landed the job from Instagram. So I was following the CEO of that particular company for almost 2 years. We were messaging on Instagram. So whenever he was posting something, I used to message, "This is a really good post," because it used to resonate with me. And one day I saw he's posting a job, and then I was in a plan to switch companies, because I was working in the same company for almost 4 years. And then I was already thinking, you know what, let me try something else. I want to see what's my potential is. And I saw his post on Instagram and just messaged him. We just chatted on Instagram. We just met for a lunch during Christmas break last year. And he literally offered me the role. So he don't even have my CV. He don't even have my resume, just because of this connection that I made with him on social media. At times our elders back in India say, "Oh, social media is super bad. Like, you shouldn't be there." I agree with it. It is bad, but it also has its own pros and cons. Like, it also has its own pros. So network is super key. Like, my second job that I'm currently working at as a head of web or lead developer, that's because of me networking on social media platforms with other industry people or company heads. So I can't praise more how important it is.
Right. Definitely, Hamza. And I really appreciate you sharing us such a personal experience of yours. And I'm so sure people like me who still consider networking as something, as a just like a greed vulture who's taking something out of the other person, would really consider it again and be more open to exposing yourself to different networking nights. So, Fazal, have you ever attending networking nights, whether it's coming from university or you going to any private? And how was the experience? And do you consider it a good medium to land up to your job?
Okay, particularly if you can say, I have never attended any networking events over there, but I do networking a lot. My main perception for the networking has changed its definition accordingly. First of all, I also used to think that networking just means to go and ask someone for the job. That's not actually networking is. Networking is you do with anyone and go and take some ideas from them, whether it's someone younger from you, whether it's the Uber driver who is driving the cab for you, or anyone. Just go and speak, know something, talk about your ideas, let them speak about themselves, their life stories. You will come up with some good things, anyways, which can impact and affect your day-to-day activities as well. My boss used to say back in India that I learned from my employees who are working. They give me the ideas to just like develop the industry, not from their working routine, just by the behavior, by how they do the activities and how they complete it. So it's like get the ideas. Networking means get the ideas. Although we how as a students we don't write final exam just directly, we do some practice a lot. So this is how, when you go and speak with everyone and come up, hone your communication skills, then only you will pick up the right person who is going to give you the job, and you will convey him your message very thoroughly if you have that experience of networking before. So my
Definitely.
advice to all our friends will be like, go and communicate, as I was saying. Don't get shy for the language barrier. If you have, just speak with your friends, get some ideas from them, and then you can go and bloom in your life.
Completely agree with that.
Definitely, guys. So, since we are almost at the end of our discussion today, one important question to before we take off, it's for everyone who is looking for job or would be looking for job in an year or so. So, what skills really help international students to stay this firm and determined while looking for a job, or maybe even landing up to a job? Or you could also talk about the process or different um, different channels that you use that helped you on throughout the way.
Right. I would like to go first, if that's fine.
Yeah, sure.
Um, I would say, like, this journey, like getting a good. Actually, I'm talking about myself. Like that's how I landed a job while I was working, and I got a part-time job as a web developer, and then I became full-time after I finished my studies. For me, the thing that worked was my efforts, the efforts that I put in when I was in my bachelor's back in India. So since I was so much into learning and I wanted to learn, I was learning Android apps, I was making Android apps, websites, and web development. Those skills really helped me find, get a job, because in my resume I was like putting, oh, these are the projects that I've done, which could easily stand out compared to anyone else, in the same, in the same grade or in the same level, who is just starting uni. So finding job or your future success very much depends on what you are doing right now. So this is a good, this thing I would like to give a tip for someone who is yet to come to Australia, that start learning. Of course, you have to enjoy your bachelor's. You have to bunk colleges, right? But at the same time, put some effort in, or generating skills. That's the number one thing I can say. And even when you come here, when you're applying for jobs, don't lose hope. And the best way to enter a job industry is via internship. So just learn. Like, don't be super in a rush. You will land your dream job. It's just that you have to learn first. You have to reach that level before you enter a job market. And once you're in, that's it. Like, you don't have to worry about it. So that's the number. And secondly, the most important one is, I think we touched based on this before, is the communication skills. Look, everyone is coming from different background. I'm coming from a Gujarati background. So my great grandparents or my grandparents were from Gujarat, and I was born and brought up in Mumbai. We all come from different walks of life. Communication affects our where we are coming from. It's on us to improve that. And I've seen here, especially in Australia, I've seen, like, your resume is super good. I've seen my friends, like, they are super good programmers and everything, but when they go for a job, they just get rejected because of their little lack in communication, like just minor. And someone else is good at it, and they just take that person in. So improving communication skills is really important. But yeah, as I said, like, it starts from where you are right now back in India. So yeah.
Thanks, Hamza. That was amazing. Um, so, Fazil, what are your thoughts on that? And that's
What I
my
can
granular
suggest, like,
for us. Thanks, Nan.
yeah, what I can suggest is like, we as a student can get so many professional tips for how to write the resume, how to write a perfect cover letter throughout the university workshops which is going and happening. And we can find so many videos on YouTube, and every channel has some kind of compatible professional tips to go through this thing. What I can say about is like my personal experience. What I think is like, I have kept myself busy a lot. Like, I've never kept myself idle, even though I'm not having any professional job in my own field, but still I'm pursuing and doing a part-time job where I am not working as my professional ones, but I'm working as an assistant manager in a car rental company, where
Hmm.
it's a casual job, part-time job, but still I'm keeping myself busy because, as you know, sometimes those people who just keep waking up through alarm every 6 in the morning, sometimes whenever they don't put the alarm, also they still wake up like
Yeah.
6 in the morning.
The natural
Similar
biological.
example, you have to train your body. You have to train your body for the rejections to happen. You have to accept the rejections which is going to come, and it needs a lot of energy. Definitely, if you keep yourself busy, if you keep applying, you have that energy to go through this thing, you will end up to your achieve or your to dream job for in your dream company as well. Sometimes people are lucky, they get early, sometimes they take a little time, but what's yours will find you definitely.
Definitely. Thanks, Fazil. And I feel now my
Thanks,
brother
Ruchir.
has taken over this meeting, and that's my brother. I'm letting you know how this is not a paid comment. Okay, my nanny's back again. Uh, so, in the Okay. As I say, it's not a paid comment. And now my friend, I think probably I should leave and let them be the host. So thanks, guys. Thank you for everyone who watched us today. Thank you for joining us today, Hamza and Fazal. Trust me, the wisdom that you had imparted on us is so it's so valuable that could never be never could have come to us if we would have not talked to you. Thank you, Saleh, who's in the back end taking care of all the technicalities and showing us of all the comments. Um, I know
Thanks. Thanks
for
so much.
international students, it's very difficult finding job, but Hamza, you are an example of how being determined you would land up to your dream job. And Fazil, all your thoughts on being very much strong enough to face rejection is really a thoughtful advice for all of us. So thank you again for joining us, and we look forward in meeting you in the next show maybe.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having us.
Thanks, Anjali. Thanks for having us. Thank you, Salih Singh, for hosting up this show. It was nice meeting to you guys. Thank you, Hamza.